The first part of lesson 1.4 has us solving linear systems. In this lesson, we'll learn how to solve by graphing, substitution, and elimination. And we'll build on that in the second part of the lesson by solving systems of 3 equations and 3 variables. A system of linear equations is any number of equations where there is the same number of variables as equations. And we'll start off with 2 and 2, meaning we'll have 2 different variables and 2 equations that describe them. A solution to a system is going to be simply an ordered pair that makes both equations true. If you can get all that to fit in there, there we go. The first method we're going to start off with is graphing. Now the point where they intersect should be where the solution is. So what we'll do is we'll graph each line. And when you do that, we're going to want some accuracy here, so be careful on that. Okay, so just make sure to be accurate. And then what we'll do is we'll double check the solution that we get into our equations. So we'll check our solutions. All right, let's take a look at the example on the right. It says, find the solution of the system. Oh, it says using substitution. Oh, goodness. We're not going to do substitution. Otherwise, we wouldn't have a graph on here. We're just going to say by graphing. Sorry about that, you guys. I tried, I've been trying to catch these. I can't catch everything. There we go. So we'll just say by graphing. Now take a look at each equation. The nice thing about this system is that y is already isolated. They're both in slope-intercept form. I'm going to start with y equals negative 3x plus 4. Notice it has a y-intercept of 4, so on the y-axis, I'll plot that. And then my slope is negative 3 over 1. I'll count down 3, 1 to the right. And I'm going to continue that pattern all the way through to the edge of the graph because we want this to be as accurate as possible. In the other direction, I'll go up 3, 1 to the left and do the same thing. Go ahead and draw a line all the way through from edge to edge for this equation. And now let's do the same thing for our second equation. Y equals 3x minus 2. For this equation, now it starts with a y-intercept of negative 2 on the y-axis, and now the slope is positive 3 over 1. As I count up 3 and over 1, notice we get a point of intersection right away. But we're going to continue that pattern and then go down below, so down 3, 1 to the left, and sketch the graph of that line. Looking at where that point of intersection is, it looks pretty clear that it's at positive 1, positive 1. That would be where the x and y are true for both equations on the graph. But to check your solution, what we'll do is we'll substitute in x and y in each of the equations. I'll take the first one, y is equal to negative 3x plus 4, and I'll plug in 1 for x and 1 for y. If I have 1 on the left, and I plug in 1 on the right, negative 3 times 1 is negative 3, but when I add 4, I get 1 on the left and 1 on the right. That means 1, 1 is a point on that line. If we check the other one, our goal is to have the same thing happen, but we do have to test them both because a solution could be on one line but not the other if it wasn't graphed correctly. When we test 1, 1, we get 3 minus 2, which is in fact 1. Therefore, showing by graphing that 1, 1 is a solution to that system. One of our 2 algebraic methods of solving a system is by substitution. This is a method where you isolate a variable in one of your equations. And that just means you get that variable on one side and everything else on the other. So isolate a variable. And then what you do is you substitute the equation into the other one. Now, things to think about here. You don't want to get a bunch of fractions when you're isolating your variable. So you want to pick a variable that's easy to get by itself. Let's see if we can make that happen in our example on the right. Find the solution of the system of linear equations using substitution. Look at the two x's and look at the two y variables. Does it look like there might be a variable that's easy to get by itself? I notice in that second row, x has a coefficient of 1, and we could just subtract 4y to the other side, and it would be by itself. Pretty easy to do. That's going to be the equation I use for substitution. I'm going to write x plus 4y is equal to 2, and just get x by itself, isolating that variable. That gives us x equals 2 minus 4y. Now the substitution part comes in with the other equation. The other equation was 2x plus 5y equals 7. And I'm going to take what x equaled and substitute it in. Doing that eliminates x out of that equation, and then you can get y by itself. Be careful though, if there's a coefficient out in front and we substitute in our partial equation for x, we've got to distribute what that coefficient was to everything in that parenthesis. So now I'm going to distribute the 2 in. 2 times 2 is 4, minus 2 times 4y is 8y. And then I have plus 5y equals 7. Combine like terms, and we get 4 minus 3y equals 7. And now we're just isolating or getting y by itself. It's negative 3y on the left, on the right positive 3. To get y by itself, divide both sides by negative 3, and y equals negative 1. Now we've gotten one variable, but to solve our system, we need to figure out what the other variable equals. I'm going to go back up here and plug in 1 where I got x by itself. So x should equal 2 minus 4 times what we got for y, which was negative 1. Now notice we get kind of a double negative here. So it's 2 plus 4 times 1, which is 2 plus 4, and that's 6. So now to write it as an ordered pair, like we did for our graphing solution, we're going to put 6 first and negative 1 second. That is the solution to our system. The other algebraic method of solving systems is using elimination. When you use elimination as your method, what you want to do is eliminate a variable out of both equations at the same time. And what you do to make that happen is you have to change the values in the equation so that the coefficients are the same but opposite signs, which sounds kind of weird. So when we look at the examples at the right, you first want to decide which variable would it be easiest to eliminate completely, and then you may have to change one or both of your equations. Let's look at the first one. 3x plus 2y is equal to 11, and 4x plus 1y is equal to negative 2. As you look at that system, the x's both have different numbers that would be kind of difficult, not difficult, but you'd have to change them both to eliminate them. But the y's, we can make 1y easily look like 2y by multiplying that whole row by 2. We also want it to be the opposite sign so that they cancel out when we combine them. I'm going to put a parenthesis then around that entire second equation and multiply it by negative 2. I'll rewrite the first one, 3x plus 2y is equal to 11. And then if I distribute the negative 2 into all three parts, that would be negative 8x minus 2y is equal to positive 4. Now what I'm going to do is just draw a line and combine my columns vertically. If I add the x's together, 3x minus 8x would be negative 5x. The two y's, one's positive, one's negative, they eliminate. On the right, 11 plus 4 is 15. To get x by itself, now just divide both sides by negative 5. And x should equal negative 3. Now the trade-off for this one is now you have to plug it back into one of the original equations to figure out what y is. This may or may not be a little bit of work. Notice in that second equation, y should be pretty easy to get by itself. Therefore, I'm going to take 4x and I'm going to substitute in -3 plus y is equal to -2. 4 times -3 is -12. To get -12 to the other side, I'm going to add. And I get y is equal to 10. Write this out as an ordered pair for your final answer, -3, 10. All right, now that second equation over on the right, same kind of process, but now notice we have the x's with a 2 and a 3, and the y's with a 3 and a -4. This means no matter which variable we choose to eliminate, we're going to have to change both of our equations. I notice that the y's are different signs already. One's positive and one's negative. I'm going to go with the y's again. But if I want to make a number that both 3 and 4 go into, the smallest one I can think of is 12, which means we'd have to multiply that top row by 4 and that bottom row by 3. The first row will change to 8x plus 12y equals -24. Remember to multiply the left side and the right side. That second row now, watch, we get 9x minus 12y, and notice now the y's will eliminate. Woofed up, and then on the right we get 75. Let's draw your line. Now that we combine our columns, 9x and 8x would give us 17x. This isn't looking good. On the right though, if we take -24 plus 75, we get positive 51. To get x by itself, believe it or not, 17 goes into 51 exactly 3 times. Whew, that was close. All right, now we've got to figure out what y equals by taking 3 and plugging it back into either the first row or the second row. It really doesn't look like one's going to be any easier than the other, so I'll just pick the top row. 2 times x, which is 3, plus 3y is equal to -6. Well, 2 times 3 is 6, plus 3y. But when I move 6 over, we get 3y is equal to -12. To get y by itself, we'll divide both sides by 3, and y will equal -4. Last but not least, let's write it out as an ordered pair, 3, -4. We will finish the rest of our notes tomorrow in class.